So now we will see the graphs. If we plot a graph between time and concentration of reactants, okay, graph plotted between time and concentration of reactants, okay. So we know that in case of reactants, the concentration initially is high and then later on concentration decreases. So the shape of the graph will be somewhat like this, that initially the concentration was high, but with time as the reaction proceeds, the concentration becomes less and less, and then it attains a constant value. This we have to see. Okay, so this is graph. Now suppose this at any point here, somewhere here, time was T1, concentration was C1. This is initial concentration and starting time, not initial, just after beginning of the reaction, time T1, because initially the time is T is equal to 0. After time T1, the concentration is C1, then the reaction proceeds. Then suppose after time T2, the concentration becomes C2. Okay. Now, if we want to find rate average, okay, average rate, we can find out as, because it is concentration of reactants and it decreases with time, so it will be having minus sign and then C2 minus C1. Finally, you will see that this value will come positive. This negative sign is only indicating that it is the rate of disappearance of products, because C2 minus C1 and C2 is less than C1, you can see, then definitely this value will be negative, and negative will have positive value. Okay, so C2 minus C1 upon T2 minus T1 will give you the value of average rate of this reaction. Now, if you want to calculate the instantaneous rate of this reaction, so instantaneous rate, suppose at any instant of time which is T, you want to calculate rate for this reaction, that can be found with the help of the slope of this. Okay, if you have to find instantaneous rate, that is rate instantaneous, that will be again having minus sign, and it will be given by BR upon BT. Okay, and that will be having definitely values from here to here and here to here. It will not be just point values, because we cannot, whenever we are doing graphical method, in graphical method we have to draw a tangent to the line and then we have to make the slope of that, and suppose we have to calculate the rate of instantaneous rate at time T, then what value correspond at this point and this point? That will be C2 minus C1, but that will be for small instant. That is why it is known as instantaneous rate. Similarly, this will be T1 and T2, and this will be C2 and C1 for small fraction of the time, which is time T. So for calculation of T also we require T1, T2 and C1, C2, but that will be for very small fraction of the whole reaction, and this C1 and C2 is for the whole duration from just after the beginning T1 and just near to finishing T2. This is the difference between the two. Clear? So both graphically also, when we find, we want the values of these 2 points in the graph. Okay, now if we plot the same graph for the product, concentration of product, like this, then time versus concentration of products. Okay, in concentration of products, then the shape of the graph is just opposite. This we have to remember, because initially the concentration of product is 0. Okay, it is 0, and then gradually it increases and then attains a constant value. because we know that every reaction attains equilibrium after a certain time. Okay. So what will be here? Again same thing. Suppose the concentration is at time t1, the concentration is C1, this point. At time t2, the concentration becomes C2. C1, C2. Here C2 is more than C1. Okay. So it will be, again rate will be equal to, now there is no negative sign. Okay. Only positive sign will be there. Then it will be C2 minus C1 upon T2 minus T1. In this time, because it is C2 is more than C1, so the value will come positive. Clear? So this is about the graphical representation. Though generally questions on this are not asked on finding out with the help of graph, but still there is a question given in your book. Okay, with the help of graphical representation you have to find out instantaneous rate of reaction. So that question you will see from the book. The reason behind it is that for instantaneous also you have to have two values. You cannot have impression in mind that just 1 point values we can have. For example, if we take this question which is given, the question in the book is like this. On graph, this is 0, 200, 400, 600, okay, then 800, okay, and in terms of reactants the line is shown to you. Then this is 0.1, 0.08, 0.06, 0.04 and 0.02. The values are given. Okay. Now question says that find out the instantaneous rate of reaction at 600 seconds. So now what we will do at 600 seconds, they want, this is seconds, time given is seconds. At 600 seconds, they want the instantaneous rate value. So from this point, you will draw a tangent and make the slope. Now what we have to do is, we have to take two values where these lines touch the graph. This value, as well as this value and this value. Then we can find out rate instantaneous, that is equal to minus Tc1 upon T2 minus T1. Okay, and minus sign is there already. Clear? So now you will find, so that those values will be little less. Suppose this is 0.02 and 0.04 and it is touching somewhere in between. So it will be minus sign is common, 0.0165 minus 0.037. where it is touching the graph. 0.0165. 165 means it is touching below this. Our graph is different. So suppose it is touching below it, 0.02, it is touching somewhere here, and this line is touching somewhere here. Then it will have these two values and time T2 minus T1. So at 600 we have to find it is between 400 and 800. So two timings which are there are 800 minus 400, or wherever this is touching the graph. These 2 points you will have to take. Then only you can find out the value of instantaneous rate. Means in graphical representation where these lines are touching, you will be given those values according to the divisions that can be calculated, and then you will find out the instantaneous rate by subtracting the time values as well as two concentration values where the graph is, these lines are touching the graph. Okay, so for instantaneous also these two values are needed, and if it is rate average, then this values will not be so close. One value will be here, so the other value will be here, like this. So this will only be the difference in instantaneous and average rate of reaction. Clear? Now, next is now consider a reaction like Hg plus Cl2 gives HgCl2. Okay. Now rate of the reaction can be expressed in terms of both reactants and products. In this reaction, what we have written, we can write the rate as rate of reaction can be written as these are reactants, this is product. So I can write the rate of reaction, and if I have to write the rate of reaction, average rate of reaction, then I can write delta Hg, concentration of Hg, change in the concentration of Hg upon change in time, and because it is reactant, so this is the rate of disappearance of reactant. So minus delta Hg upon delta T, or either I can express the rate in terms of Hg or in terms of chlorine, as I can write minus change in concentration of Cl2 upon delta T, change in time, or I can give the rate expression in the form of change in concentration of HgCl2 upon change in time. By any one of these three methods, either I will use this expression, or I will use this expression, or I will use that expression without negative sign because this is product, to find the rate of this reaction. Okay, but if I take example of a reaction in which stoichiometric coefficients are also present, then we have to take into consideration those coefficients also. Okay, so let us take example of another reaction. 2HI is equal to H2 plus I2. If this is a reaction, and if I have to find out the rate of this reaction, then I can find rate as rate is equal to disappearance minus sign for this disappearance of the concentration, rate of disappearance of concentration of HI. Stoichiometric coefficient is 2, so divided by 1 by 2 upon delta T. This will be the expression, or I can write as, because these are products, so no negative sign, concentration, change in concentration of H2 with time, or I can write change in concentration of I2 with time. Any one of these I will use, either I will use this or this. All are not needed to find out the rate of reaction. Any of the three, one out of the three is sufficient to know the rate of reaction. But if stoichiometric coefficient is involved, we have to divide the reaction by that stoichiometric coefficient. Okay. Now suppose I take another example of a reaction in which there are lot of stoichiometric coefficients involved. For example, 5Br negative plus BrO3 1 negative plus 6H positive gives 3Br2 plus 3H2O. This is a reaction. Now if I have to give the rate for this, find out the rate for this reaction, then I can write it as rate is equal to minus change in concentration of Br1 negative upon change with time, and because stoichiometric coefficient is 5, so divided by 1 by 5 or divided by 5 is equal to, because again this is a reactant, so minus change in concentration of BrO3 upon change in time, no stoichiometric coefficient, so I will not write anything here, or minus change in concentration of H positive ion with time, and because coefficient is 6, so 1 by 6 divided by 6, or if I want to give in terms of product, these two are products, so I will write as no negative sign, only change in concentration of Br2 with time, 3 coefficient is there, so divided by 1 by 3, or I can write change in concentration of H2O with time, and 1 by 3. And because it is product, so negative sign is not there. Okay. So any of these ways we can use for giving the value of rate. Any one expression is sufficient to find out that value. Okay. And whose concentration we have to find, that particular term we can use. Suppose in the question you are asked to find out the concentration of bromine produced in the reaction. Okay. So bromine produced in the reaction, so we will use this expression. Okay. Whatever is needed, that expression we can use depending that we are given the concentration of any one of them. Okay. Any one concentration is given, we can find out the other concentration. We will see how. One question we will take. Now there is a question which is given. The decomposition of N2O5 in CCl4 at 318 has been studied by monitoring the concentration of N2O5 in solution. The main thing in the question is you have to see the reaction of decomposition of N2O5. So the reaction given is 2 N2O5 is equal to 4 gives 4 NO2 plus O2. This is the reaction of decomposition of N2O5. Okay. Then initially the concentration of N2O5 is 2.33 moles per liter. Initial concentration, that means C1 concentration of N2O5 initial is given 2.33 moles per liter. Okay. Then after 184 minutes, initial time T1 was 0. Okay. And after time T2, the time is 184 minutes. Initial time not given, that means it is 0. We are taking a starting point. And after 184 minutes, the concentration becomes, that is C2, it becomes 2.08 moles per liter. The reaction is as follows, which I have written. Calculate the average rate of this reaction. What is the rate of production of NO2? Two questions are asked in this. First thing, you have to find average rate of this reaction. And second thing, you have to find that what is the rate of production of NO2? Rate of production of NO2. So NO2 is produced here. Okay. So concentration of only one component, that is N2O5, is given in the question. So we can use only this relationship to find out the average rate of reaction. Clear? So first thing, we will write the ways of finding rate in this reaction. Rate is equal to minus sign because it is reactant minus C2 minus C1 upon T2 minus T1. This will be the expression used. Also, rate here is actually equal to what? We know that we have to use the stoichiometric coefficient. So rate of N2O5 will be equal to 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 C2 minus C1 upon T2 minus T1. Is it okay? Because the stoichiometric coefficient is 2, which is also equal to, because it is product. Yes.
माइनस 2 इंटू C2 माइनस C1 होना चाहिए ना, माइनस हाफ की जगह माइनस 2 होना चाहिए ना.
Why? Stoichiometric coefficient is taken in division. 1 by 2 it will be taken. Minus 2 not. 1 by 2 it will be taken. Okay. Whatever is the stoichiometric coefficient, that is used to divide the equation, not multiplied. 1 by minus 1 by 2. Minus sign is, let me write again. Minus sign I told you is there to just indicate the disappearance. Minus 1 by 2 C2 minus C1 upon T2 minus T1. This will be the expression used, which is also equal to, because it is product, 1 by 4. 4 is stoichiometric coefficient. 1 by 4 change in concentration of NO2 upon change in time, which is also equal to, because there is no stoichiometric coefficient, so I will write nothing, change in concentration of O2 upon change in time. So this or this, we could use any, but because values of this only are given, so we can find rate with the help of this only. So I will write minus 1 by 2. C2 is here given 2.08 minus 2.33. I told you this value will come negative. So it will negative will become positive, divided by T2 minus T1. So T2 is 184. I can directly write here 184. 184 minus 0. Okay. So this comes the rate of disappearance of N2O5. Okay. So let us take this value directly. Because time is taken in minutes, so the rate will come in moles per liter per minute. Value is 6.79 into 10 to the power minus 4 moles liter inverse second minute inverse. We have not converted it into second. Moles liter inverse minute inverse is the unit, and the value is coming 6.79 into 10 to the power minus 4. So the average rate of this reaction is this. Okay. Now the second part of the question is asking, what is the rate of production of NO2? With what rate NO2 will be produced? I told you that if we know one value rate of disappearance we have known, value is 6.79 into 10 to the power minus 4. We can find out this value as well as this value. Now what we will do? We will write, we know that rate of disappearance of N2O5 is equal to the rate of appearance of NO2. And 1 by 4 factor is there. So this value we have calculated. This value is 6.79 into 10 to the power minus 4. This whole value 1 by 2 divided is equal to 1 by 4 rate of formation of NO2 upon change in time. So rate of production of NO2 will be equal to 6.79 into 10 to the power minus 4 into 4 is equal to delta NO2 upon delta. So with the help of this, we can calculate the rate of appearance of NO2 also. This 4, which is the coefficient of it, will be multiplied other side of the reaction. Clear? So this way such questions are there. Value comes 2.72 into 10 to the power minus 3. 2.73 into 10 to the power minus 3 moles liter inverse minute inverse. Okay. So this is how the questions on these rate are based. Clear? So remember that stoichiometric coefficients are taken in the division with the reaction when you write the formula that time. Okay. Clear? Now, factors influencing rate of a reaction. Factors affecting or influencing rate of reaction. Means a reaction can become fast and slow by 3 factors. First factor is concentration. Concentration of reactant. Definitely product concentration will not have any effect. So concentration of reactants is affecting the rate of reaction. Second thing is temperature. Temperature of reaction also affects the rate of reaction. And third factor is catalyst. Presence of catalyst also affects the rate of reaction. Clear? So 3 factors we have to study under the heading factors affecting rate of reaction. One by one we will study about them. effect of temperature and catalyst are very small topics, okay, because portion dependent on temperature factor is almost deleted. So we will just introduce that how temperature affects the rate of reaction, but Arrhenius equation and activation energy part is deleted this year, so that we have not to do. So temperature factor is very small, it will be covered fast. Catalyst is also very small factor which will be taken. Main part of this is how concentration of a reaction affects the rate of reaction. Now concentration has a positive effect. If more is the concentration of the reactants, faster is the rate of reaction. And this is obvious also, that we know that as a reaction proceeds, when reactants are converted into product, we see that as gradually the rate of the amount of reactants, or you can say the concentration of reactant decreases, because reactant is getting converted into product. So as the reaction is proceeding and reactants are converting into product, then gradually the rate of reaction becomes slow and more slower. Okay, so rate affects the concentration affects the rate in which manner? More is the concentration of the reactants, more is the rate of reaction. And as reactants get over, also the rate of reaction becomes constant, or you can say the reaction attains equilibrium after certain time. So this affects. Okay, now we have learned to express the rate of reaction in terms of the concentration of reactants as well as in terms of the concentration of products previously. Now once again we will learn to express the rate of reaction in terms of concentration of reactants in the form of rate law. So that is very important part of this chapter, that is rate law. What is rate law? First thing we understand this rate law. That means whenever the rate of a reaction is expressed in terms of concentration of reactants only and not in terms of concentration of products, then that is known as rate law. Okay, so for that we just see a reaction. Suppose A plus B are giving C plus D. Small a, small b, small c and small d are stoichiometric coefficients. Small a, small b, small c, small d are stoichiometric coefficient, means how many number of moles of each are taking part in the reaction. If any such reaction is there, and in such a reaction if rate of a reaction is given as directly proportional to the concentration of reactants. See, in the previous method which we were using, what we are doing, if two reactants are present, then we were showing the rate of reaction either in terms of one or in the terms of second. We were not taking both of them together. Now when we are talking about rate law, then we are expressing the rate in terms of concentration of both the reactants A and B together. We are taking them together. So this is the difference between the previous method and this method which we are using, rate law method. So rate is proportional to concentration of A and B raised to power X and Y, where X and Y are not stoichiometric coefficients. X and Y are not stoichiometric coefficient, because stoichiometric coefficients are small a and small b. So what this raised to power is which we are writing. Okay, this X and Y are not a stoichiometric coefficient, and second condition, X and Y may or may not be equal to A and B, small a and b. Means first thing is this, X and Y are not stoichiometric coefficients, they are something else. Second thing, X and Y may have by chance values similar to A and B, or they may be different also. Because that means what? this x and y are something which is determined experimentally. This is not something which you can see to the direct equation and write the value of x and y. So what these x and y are there, we will discuss later in the next class. Now let me convert this as rate is equal to K, A, concentration of A, concentration of B raised to power x and y, where K is known as rate constant of the reaction. This rate which we are expressing is actually the instantaneous rate. So it can be written as dr by dt is equal to K, and because it is in terms of reactant, so this is minus dr by dt is equal to K A x B y. This is your complete expression for rate law. When rate is expressed in terms of concentration of all the available, if 2 are here, so we have written 2, more than 2 are there, then we will write all 3 here. Okay, so expressing the rate, that is instantaneous rate, that is why dr upon dt. Instantaneous rate is dr upon dt and average rate is delta r upon delta t. So dr upon dt, K, concentration of A, B raised to power x and y. Okay, so this is